Coming up, UT 10 News asked students if the economic mess is affecting their spending habits. You may be surprised with the outcome.
And we have some very nice temperatures coming our way. We'll have a look at your 4-day forecast.
Plus, David Davis gives us a preview of the big game this weekend in Michigan. Your news in 10 minutes starts now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mariana Joy.
And I'm Melissa Chi. The global economy has been in the news for some time now.
Reporter Matt Jasinski takes a look at the impact closer to home.
With the country in an economic downturn, students are going to have a tougher time finding credit for not only houses and cars, but to stay in school. This economic crisis is one of the worst in America's history. Banks and lending institutions can no longer give credit easily. Economics lecturer Larry Cook explains why the credit situation is in bad shape.
Lending is stopped because people are afraid and they've lost confidence, and so everybody's just sitting on extra cash if they have it, and this credit is stopped or certainly slowed down.
Not all students believe the country is doing poorly. Senior Tom Pelham is optimistic that the economy will turn around.
Right now it's just in a downfall. A bunch of banks got greedy. It's in a low time right now, but I think it's going to come up again. It's just going to take some time.
Assistant Director in Loans for UT, Sherry Januzzi, says the university uses mostly direct loans, which are straight from the government. She adds, however, that alternative loans are going to be tougher for students to get.
They're based on credit when you go to the private or alternative loans, so they're tightening up the credit scores and what students are going to need. Some of the students that maybe could have gotten a loan without a cosigner before are now being asked to use a cosigner.
Januzzi says that any alternative loan that has been approved is guaranteed for the rest of the academic school year. This is Matt Jasinski, UT 10 News.
And the economic crisis is not keeping students out of their wallets. A survey done by UT 10 News shows they are not changing their spending habits. 73% of UT students polled say they made a major purchase in the last 6 months. More than half were on new cell phones. More than half of those surveyed eat out 2 or more times a week, and more than 2/3 spend over $10.
Instead of getting cheap stuff off the menu, I go for this big, huge meal that I end up not even eating all of it, so it's a waste.
And 72% admit to spending money carelessly. While the majority continue to spend, 30% of students are still carefully budgeting. A $450,000 truck is watching over UT. The truck from the Homeland Security Department is one of 11 in Ohio. It can be seen near the parking lot between McComas Village and Carter Hall during major events. Lucas County Sheriff's Lieutenant Greg Wojciechowski says the truck has the ability to put all responding units on one radio frequency. The unit was developed due to the communication problems encountered with the Hurricane Katrina rescue efforts. UT Police Chief Jeff Newton says the presence of the truck provides a sense of security on campus.
A UT art student has gained national attention. Helen Grubb was accepted to participate in 4 juried competitive art shows that she applied for over the summer. Grubb has 5 pieces of artwork that have been shown across the country. A show in Newcastle, Pennsylvania is scheduled to begin next week. Grubb hopes this will advance her career.
I would like to experience more of the professional art world and what it's like to make a living as an artist, and entering shows and gaining exposure through them is really essential to promoting yourself.
Shows in Georgia, California, and New York have already taken place. Grubb has sold an art piece that has been displayed at the 73rd Annual Juried Art Exhibition in Cooperstown, New York.
That's pretty cool. Good for her. All right, now we're going to turn to weather. Let's take a look at your next 4 days. All around, we have some very impressive temperatures. 70s all weekend long. Definitely does not feel like fall weather. We go back down to the 60s for Tuesday, but who cares? We'll take what we can get. All right, David, we've got some good weather for the game this weekend. What do you think our chances are for a win?
I don't know. Coach Amstutz is pretty optimistic. Stick around. I'll be checking in with the Rocket football team about their date with Michigan on Saturday. I'll also explain the ultimate college sport and take a quick look at UT women's soccer. We'll be back in 30. This Saturday will be the first official meeting on the gridiron between the Rockets and the University of Michigan. Although in 1928, Toledo University played Michigan's junior varsity team and lost 33-0. But it's safe to say the sour taste from that fateful day is not in anyone's memory. The 2008 version of the Wolverines have a 2-3 record so far and are coming off of a blowout loss to Illinois. No doubt they will be primed and ready to go. The Rockets were also embarrassed last week, but Coach Amstutz and the team are ready for the big house.
Obviously, Michigan's one of the best football programs in the country. They have great football players, really impressed with their defense. They're loaded on defense. It's going to be a great challenge, but it's going to be a lot of fun for the players to play in front of a huge crowd and play on the biggest stage in America.
110,000 fans, Big Ten team. It's going to be a great test for us to come out there and 3-game losing streak. We know that we can just go out there, get a win. It'll boost us right back up to where we need to be.
Kickoff is at noon and the game will be televised on the Big Ten Network. From football to a sport that doesn't involve a ball at all, Ultimate Frisbee as a club sport is sweeping across college campuses from Southern Cal all the way to Harvard. And in case you're not familiar, I met up with UT's club team to check out the sport that is simply known as Ultimate.
The basic rules of Ultimate Frisbee are pretty simple. Score by getting in the other team's end zone and don't take a step after you catch the disc. Also, there are no officials, so players call their own fouls. Team captain Benji Billman separates Ultimate from other sports.
All sports in general have like team aspects, but I feel like everyone really depends on each other in Ultimate Frisbee rather than just a couple people or maybe a certain play or anything like that.
After a 6-year break, Ultimate returned to UT in 2003. The team now has 20 players, more than enough for 2 teams. But how does Ultimate stack up against a more popular sport like football?
It's really the best sport I've ever played, and I've played football, and I feel this is just beats them all in intensity and camaraderie.
UT's team is called Savage, and they will be playing in a tournament at the Cuyahoga Polo Fields this Saturday and Sunday. And if you want to see a Rocket home game this weekend, check out our 2-time defending MAC champion women's soccer team against Ball State. 1 o'clock Sunday at Scott Park Field.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. All right, we'll be back in a moment with more UT 10 News.
Imaging technology has dramatically improved the diagnosis and treatment for patients worldwide. Right here at the UT Medical Center, we use the most advanced imaging technology for breast, heart, brain, and sports-related problems. This allows for the most accurate diagnosis and effective treatments. Investing in the best imaging is how we invest in our patients.
To learn more, visit utmatters.com.
A foster volunteer from Assistance Dogs of America came to the Student Union to promote the use of service dogs. The focus was to show how volunteering makes a difference. UT students had the opportunity to meet the service dog named Barley on Wednesday. Rebecca Schultz trains dogs like Barley to help the wheelchair-bound and people who have trouble walking on their own. The training starts when they are puppies and it lasts for 2 years. Development Director Patty Gulp says these dogs can do a range of activities such as laundry, taking off socks, and even opening your refrigerator door. Each dog costs around $18,000 in donations to train. The clients only pay a $25 application fee to take the animal home.
That's UT 10 News. I'm Mariana Joy.
And I'm Melissa Chi. If you have any stories or information you would like to share with us, please email us at ut10news@gmail.com.
And be sure to check out UT 10 News on YouTube. You can get caught up on all of your campus news whenever you want. For Melissa Chi, David Davis, and all of our crew, have a great week and stay tuned for more news from the UT campus.